Hi everybody, Tina at Fuzzy Greetings Crafts. Thought we'd have a little craft fun today. I have a few minutes in my craft space and I need to make 3 more Christmas cards for someone. This is the card that we're making. It's done on a crumb cake base with a crumb cake layer, and it's got all kinds of embossing going on the front. I'm using several different items from several different places. I'm using some Versamark ink, which is clear ink, sticky clear ink, that you use for embossing. As far as I know, you could still get this from Stampin' Up, or you could go to Amazon and find some there. I'm also using this Endless Wishes stamp set from Stampin' Up. It's probably not available anymore because I've had it for quite some time. You'll also need an embossing buddy or something similar. Again, you can purchase those from Stampin' Up, or you can go to Amazon, which is where I found mine. You might want a little, like a paintbrush or something, to get the little pieces of embossing powder off of your cardstock, because believe me, you do not want to heat set while the little pieces are on there, or they will be stuck there permanently. And we're also going to use 3 different embossing powders. All of these I got in a set from Amazon.com. I'm sorry, I don't remember where the set came from, what it was called, but it had several different vials of embossing powder. This one is Stardust, which is kind of like a white glittery, or well, probably a clear glittery, because it's almost the color of the cardstock, which are these big ones. So it's just makes it darker than the cardstock, and it's real sparkly. I'm sure that's not picking up on camera, but it's pretty awesome. And I'm using a baby blue for the 2 small snowflakes and the sentiment. And then I'm using a white for the medium-sized snowflakes. Now, since we are embossing, that means that I will be using my heat gun. So it will get a little noisy a little bit, and I'll have to do that several times to make these cards. I may end up just showing one on the video, since I have to make 3 more, and it is a little time consuming, and I really don't want to bore you guys watching me do this 3 different times. Or 4 different times. Sorry, 4 cards. Wow. Again, heat guns you can purchase from Stampin' Up. Honestly, I'm not sure if Fun Stamper's Journey has a heat gun or not. I haven't been with them long enough to know this. I got mine from Amazon. Again, I got it at the same time that I got my embossing powders. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with the embossing buddy. You're going to grab your piece of cardstock, and you just want to kind of pounce that on there. It's kind of like a powder, like a cornstarch powder maybe. I'm not really sure what's in there, but you put it on there and it makes your paper not as statically charged, so that your embossing powders don't stick as much unless it's to the Versamark. So you're going to pounce that on there, and then you're going to smooth it around. Believe me, this is a messy card. I ended up with embossing powder and the powder from my embossing buddy all over me the last time I did this. Okay, so we're going to start with the small snowflake and the cinnamon. So the small snowflake will go here. And then we need, ooh, I almost lost one. And that's what I need. Then I need the word Mary. And then the small and bright. I need to wipe those off. They do not feel very sticky. It's one thing about photopolymer stamps. It's trying to keep them sticky enough to stick to your block. Okay. I stuck that to the wrong block. I would like to stick the Mary and Bright on the same block. That way I could just stamp it all at once. That would be helpful. But because of the piece of stamp around the word, I just cannot get that and Bright close enough to the Mary. Okay, I'm just going to stick that. Unfortunately, I don't have another small block. I'm just going to stick that to the end of that block. And I may as well get out my other snowflakes while I'm at it. There's my medium. And my large. Alright, so we're going to start. Move everything out of the way. With the baby blue and the Mary and Bright and the small snowflake. So let's get out our Versamark. You don't have to work super fast, but you do need to move with a purpose because you don't want this to dry before you have a chance to put your embossing powder on it and set it. Okay, so you're going to ink up the Mary. Let me see if I can get this straight and where I want it, since I can't put my head over my paper. Okay. As you can see, you can barely see that. That's because it's clear. Okay, and then my small snowflake. I'll put one on top, one on bottom. Okay, and then you want to close up your Versamark each time. Move my stamps out of the way. Then you want to grab your first embossing powder. I just break off little plastic spoons so that way I can keep them in here at all times. You're just going to sprinkle that on there. I kind of like to work it around, make sure it's on there. Ooh. And you want to dump that back in there because you can reuse that. And kind of tap off the excess. And then you want to check. I don't know if that shows up on the camera, but there are little specks here and there. And that's where your paintbrush comes in handy. You just want to very carefully brush away those little pieces. Because like I said, if you heat set it with that on there, they're on there. They're not going anywhere once you heat set it. Ooh, it makes me nervous getting so close, because if you run your paintbrush over the rest of it, it will come off. Have a stray hair on my paintbrush. You don't want to brush over it. You also don't want to touch it until you've heat set it. Alright, now we're going to get a little loud. Going to heat it up. Give it a minute to get hot. And then you want to put it on, but you don't want to hold it in one spot for very long. You definitely do not want your fingers in the way. Once it starts to melt and set, you'll notice, I don't know if you could see that, but it starts changing on the paper. If you've never embossed and heat set, it really is awesome. This will warp your paper some, so keep that in mind. Which is why I use a panel to do my stuff on instead of the actual card base. Okay, I don't know how well that shows up, but there's now a shine to it, and that's because it's been heat set on there. Now you can touch it and it won't come off. Alright. Next, we're going to do the medium snowflakes. So I need the white embossing powder. Again, you're going to pull out your Versamark. We're going to put 3 of these on here. Going to put one down here. And put one up here. And I'm going to put one here. Close up your ink. Move my stamp out of the way. Grab some embossing powder. Try not to stick your thumb in the ink. Put powder on all 3 of the snowflakes. Tap your excess off. Use your paintbrush to get off the excess. Oh, dare I try it. Nope, dare I not try it. I don't think I can get that off of there. Good enough. Okay. Now we're going to pull out the heat tool again. Heat it up for a second. And heat set all 3 snowflakes. Again, make sure you keep your fingers out from in front of the heat gun. It's very hot. Much warmer than a hair dryer. Okay, there's our 3 white snowflakes that are now raised off the page. Woo, focus. Alright, now our big snowflakes. Grab your Versamark. Ink up your stamp. We're going to put one here off the page. Here in the corner. And here in this corner. Close up your Versamark. Grab your 3rd embossing powder. Sprinkle it on. You're honestly, as much as you're touching this paper or this cardstock, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to use your embossing buddy in between each one, because it does tend to pick up more as you go along. Don't forget, as you're moving your cardstock around, do not stick your finger in the embossing powder or ink that hasn't been heat set yet. I have a tendency to do that, and it totally screws it up. Okay. Paintbrush. This one's a little more difficult to see since it's pretty much all glitter. So look close, get off your excess. Although you know about how well that's going to go if you've ever messed with glitter. Because glitter never comes off of anything, truly. Once it's there, it's there. Okay. And one more time with the heat tool. Now that one you can tell that it's changing. Is that not awesome? I love how it changes right in front of your eyes. It's like magic. Ooh, that's hot. Alright. That is the front of the card. Now let me brush glitter all over me, because I need to sparkle today. Alright. my boyfriend were here right now, he'd be screaming in horror. He hates glitter. Alright, let me close this up before I knock it off, and I really have glitter everywhere. Let me grab my adhesive. I'm using Tombow Multi-Liquid Glue to attach this to my card base. This is from Stampin' Up. Fun Stamper's Journey also sells a liquid glue, which I have not had a chance to try yet, but I do plan to in the near future, just once I run out of what I already have. We're not rich, folks. Gotta use up what you got first. Wow, that's pretty nifty. I have white specks all over the back of my card. Okay. You can use any adhesive that you want to attach this. I like the liquid glues when I'm doing layers because it allows you a little bit of wiggle room. Because we know I'm the crooked crafter and I can't stamp, glue, anything straight. But I have a better chance of doing it with liquid glue because I can move it around to where I want it before pressing down and letting it set in place. And then I'm going to flip it upside down and run my fingers over it. Since it's got the glitter, I don't want to rub it all off. And there is the finished card. Only 3 more to go. Alright. I love these snowflakes. They're just so pretty. Video and pictures just don't do them justice. You just really have to see them in person to see what I'm talking about. Alright, so I'm going to go and make 3 more of those so that I can add them to my other Christmas cards that I've made for my customer. And then I will be done and ready for them to pick up their order. So I hope you enjoyed my little video today. If you have any questions, if you want to know where I bought my items or where you can get similar items, just ask. I will do my best to find you something if it's not in my store at Fun Stamper's Journey. If you'd like to purchase through Stampin' Up, you're more than welcome to. I'm no longer a demonstrator, so I can't help you with that. But, you know, by all means, if you'd like to try out Stampin' Up is awesome. I love their products. I've just decided to move on to Fun Stamper's Journey because I really like their products as well. So I'm not saying anything, you know, bad about Stampin' Up at all. Never. I love them. I just can't help you with those orders anymore. So if you liked today's video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't, subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this and my other crafting. I will be posting this on my Facebook page and my blog later so that you can view it there as well. Speaking of my blog, if you'd like to find me anywhere, you can look at Fun Stamper's Journey items here at www.funstampersjourney.com. Check them out, see what they're all about. If you'd like to shop with me, which I know I didn't show any Fun Stamper's Journey items today, but they do have fantastic items. By all means, go check them out. Look at their catalogs. You can shop with me here. This is my personal store, funstampersjourney.com/thodge. If you'd like to check out their catalogs, they have a massive yearly catalog, plus their holiday mini is out right now. You can go to my blog at fuzzygreetingscrafts.weebly.com. If you'll look over on the right hand sidebar, you'll see two little pictures that show the front covers of the catalogs. Just click on those and it'll take you right to the catalog. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can comment in the section below my video, or you can email me at cmo.crafter@gmail.com. Just please put something in the subject line so that I'll know you're not a spam message. I'd hate to delete you without reading you. Or when you're on my blog, you can use one of the methods there to contact me or comment on that post. Or you can find me on my Facebook page, which there is a link to that on my blog. Find my post for today on there, and you can comment there if you'd like. Alright, so that was a mouthful. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!